back. It's the Career Seeker Show live on WPPM FM 106.5 Philadelphia. I'm your host, Kenneth L. Johnson. I got Tiffany Southerland here with me today, the resident career coach here at the Career Seeker Show. Please feel free to take a look at all the social media links at www.careerseekers.work. You can find out about myself, Tiffany Southerland, Alberta Bertolino. We're having some technical difficulty with the phone, so with that being said, we're probably going to move forward. We'll try to catch up with Alberta a little later, maybe on the second segment. So, Tiffany, I know you're a social media person like myself. I see you out here. You're active on Twitter. You're active on LinkedIn. You do the Instagram thing. You have a great website. All of that is great, and it'll be a huge resource for the career seeker listeners. But I shared with you the recent article I saw on the Muse website regarding the 20 companies that are going to be hiring, 20 companies that are going to be huge, and they're hiring now. And it was amazing that the top company was located here in the Philadelphia region. So,
shout out.
Yeah, exactly. You know how I noticed it? When I pulled the article up, I saw a guy on there in the Eagles jersey. I was like, hey.
They from Philly.
That was their giveaway,
right? Right. He could have been a transplant somewhere else, but he's probably in the area, right?
So I said, let me peek into that. And actually, you know what? You know how I am. You know I'm proactive. You know I reach out to people. So I reached out to the author of the article today and said, listen, I want to have you on the show. Like, what's going on? Talk to me. So hopefully we will have Miss Kay Bogart on the show in one of the upcoming weeks.
I just want to really quickly, that is a lesson right there in the power of networking and how simple it is. I have another good friend of mine who is like the master networker on Twitter. And so when what Kenneth did today was just reach out to somebody because he saw something that he was interested in. That's a lesson right there in just being willing to take opportunities and see an opportunity and go out and get it if you can, to reach out to someone who might have some information or access to information that you have or that you don't have but you want to get for yourself. Exactly.
And you know, we're in a day and age where you can reach out to people. It's not hard to get in touch with people. I try to share that with our career clients, our career coaching clients, that it's so simple today to just connect with someone on Twitter. And you don't even have to be on Twitter yourself, but you can actually follow them or follow their actions, kind of find out, you're almost like a stalker. You're kind of stalking the person. But all right, let's not use that term. Let's say you're a private investigator.
There you go.
And you want to work at XYZ company, and you found out that, I don't know, their president or VP is speaking at an event at the chamber. So you show up and you introduce yourself and you have a plan moving forward. So that, I think, is the brilliance of some of the social media stuff when people use it right.
Absolutely, and part of it really is that it's public, right? So unless you manage to hack your way into somebody's private account, right, who does not want to be followed, the information is available and it's made available to use wisely, right? So one of the things that they give you insight on is when you're doing research on someone you're interviewing with, for example. You don't share the most personal details that you might have been able to find out about them on the internet in your research, but you can share information, use your judgment about things that make sense to share. And just as you said, when you are trying to connect with somebody, that's exactly the purpose of it. And it's not inappropriate for you to mention someone on Twitter or like a page on Facebook or get in a comment, because what you're doing is relationship building. Whereas, before social media became the thing that it is today, relationship building had to happen in person.
Sure.
But now you can do it virtually and then develop those relationships that can be forged. And you mentioned this at the top of the show. That's how you and I connected, was via social media. And now we've developed a very good professional working relationship, and that was because of a tweet. So,
exactly.
So don't shy away from it, even though it might be a little foreign. And I'm sure we'll get to talk more about how to use social media in your job search.
Definitely. The interesting thing, it's anywhere in the country.
Right.
I think this young lady that I had reached out to that produced this article, I believe she may be based in Wisconsin.
Look at that.
However, we're going to have a call into the Career Seeker Show here on WPPM FM 106.5 in Philly, just to share her insight about kind of where this list comes from. And also, I think she has an interesting story about how she's kind of taking the leap of faith to be a freelancer. So I'm really hoping to have her on the show.
So it'll be a good segment for sure.
It definitely will. It definitely will. So, you know, it was interesting. I really wanted Alberta to be on the show today, and maybe we'll do this next week. But she is pretty active out here in a lot of different areas. But I think one of the things that she does extremely well is connect people. So I know the three of us went to a networking event recently.
Yep.
And it was a great event. I had to leave, but you guys kind of hung out and everything. But I felt so comfortable, you know, with leaving the two of you together, even though I made the introduction. And I think that's kind of the essence to networking. You know, how do you take someone from your side and introduce them to someone on the other side because you believe that there's some synergy?
Absolutely.
And I you know, I think we need to be more open in our networking, especially in a job search environment. You know, it's not, don't be afraid to reach out to somebody and say, hey, listen, I just wanted to know if you would be able to introduce me to a person at your organization because I'm looking at this opportunity that I've seen online.
Right, and I think you, and with that, you want to be careful about how you do that, right? Because you don't want to reach out and network for the sake of trying to get something from someone. But when you network for the sake of building relationships, the dividends that get paid in you doing that work and putting that time in, it really, there's no bounds to it. And what happens when you are willing to invest your time in someone just by saying, hey, I saw this article and it relates to the field that you're in, or I came across this video and I thought you might find it interesting. Even if they don't reply to it necessarily, you took the time to express some interest in them, and then in that way you build a relationship with them so that when the time comes for you to actually ask for something or need for something, it won't just be out of the blue and random and you'll be seen as a taker, but instead you're participating in a bi-directional relationship, as they say. So each of you will be able to benefit from that.
Excellent. You know, speaking of networking, again, there is an unbelievable opportunity for career seekers to network here in Philadelphia on January 16th at the MLK Day Career Fair, Girard College. With that being said, I think what we'll do, we're going to break and then we'll come back. I was looking out through the studio and I see the magnificent Carla Baptiste has came into the studio, and she'll be joining us after the break. It's Career Seekers Radio. Please stay locked in, and we'll be back after the break.
Stay with us. Excellent. You're doing an excellent job.
Thank you.
It feels like we're all over the place. I'm sorry.
It's all
Nah.
right. Listen, it's the first time this is going to be, and I mean,
It sounds like it's been going on for a long time.
The
But
only thing, I
I
don't know if they can hear it live, but when you move your mouth away from the mic, your sound changes,
Oh, yeah,
so you
okay.
want to be mindful of that.
Appreciate that. I shouldn't be doing that, but I'm like looking over here.
I know you're trying to do a whole bunch of stuff.
Tiffany, do you want these pictures? I took a couple pictures.
We will get them.
Thank
So I'm
Hi.
gonna
Hi.
so I'm gonna have
How are
you.
you doing? Gary
This is-
Patterson. Nice to meet you. Carla Baptiste.
So shit.
Gary Patterson.
How are you?
This is my buddy Will.
Hi, Will.
Nice to meet you. Well, this is Carla from the Urban League of Philly.
Nice to meet you.
Sherry actually has a show that's coming soon.
Oh,
So
okay.
she's just kind of hanging out here. I'm gonna sit you here, and Mike too. I see you got the red ink, you got the
I got-
questions and everything. I should have, no one said, I should have probably sent you the questions that I sent to Carla, but I know you'll be able to just jump in. So I'm not even worried about
My
it.
best, thank you.
Actually, I have them here, but I'm gonna need to grab them back
Oh, no,
from
don't
you.
worry about it. I'll just listen.
Nah, I need you to do more than listen.
No, I'll listen and jump in. That's
Yeah, right, there we go.
So you got it.
So yeah, because what happens is I really appreciate you kind of talking through stuff because I'm trying to
I got
set
you,
up
man.
here. So
I got you. I'm not gonna be sorry.
thank you.
Got you covered.
That's what I love. About you. I believe it. Yeah, you good, man?
Still live, baby.
Let's do it. Carla, you don't mind? We're doing Facebook Live right now, so you with it? All right. I saw all these kids running around when I was walking over
Not
here,
me, though.
and I was like, this Carla's boys used to come out of school like that.
Yeah, they're right. They used to be right down here.
Exactly. All right. So, how do I get back there? Alberta couldn't make it. She has some stuff she's working on.
Where's she from?
She lives in Philly, but she works in Jersey. And she had a meeting, so she couldn't make it. But we'll have her next time, right? Get it together. All right, so nod or something when I open y'all's mics. Don't be closed at first. What time is it? 33. We're back. It's the Career Seeker Show live on WPPM FM 106.5 Philadelphia. I'm your host, Kenneth L. Johnson. We have Tiffany Southerland in studio today. Me and Tiffany and Alberta Bertolino will be here every Wednesday, 4 to 5, Career Seekers Radio. We are so excited and happy at this moment to have Miss Carla Baptiste from the Urban League of Philadelphia here. Carla, how is everything going? I'm hearing some good things about the services and the programming being offered at the Urban League of Philadelphia. And I just kind of wanted to have you in as the first guest of the show. That's how I feel about you. I care about you so much that I knew that you would be the perfect first guest. So let's just talk a little. Let's chop it up a little. How long have you been at the Urban League of Philadelphia?
So, Ken, thank you for having me here today. I am honored to be one of your first guests, and I know this will be such a success.
The first guest.
Yes,
the first guest.
The first guest. So I'm extremely proud of you, and I know this will be such a success. I have actually been with the Urban League now this will be my 10th year actually coming up in July.
Wow, 10 years. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, some of our listeners may not know about the Urban League in Philadelphia. So if you don't mind, let's just kind of start. Let's start there. Tell me about the Urban League and its history in Philadelphia, and how you guys support our listeners, the career seekers.
Sure. So the Urban League of Philadelphia has empowered the underserved in the Philadelphia area for the last 100 years.
Hold on. How many years?
100.
100 years.
Yeah.
Centennial.
Since 1917,
Okay.
We've been doing this. We started off as the Armstrong Foundation, and since went on to become the Urban League of Philadelphia. We are here to empower, like I said, the underserved in the Philadelphia region. We offer services to those seeking employment, housing. We do foreclosure assistance. We do first-time home buyer workshops. We also have an entrepreneurship center for folks that are looking to start their own business. Seniors. The scholarship application deadline for high school seniors in our region is February 3rd. So anyone that is interested in securing one of those great scholarships can definitely go to our website, urbanleaguephila.org, and take a look under the youth programs.
Great. I love all the stuff that you guys do there at the Urban League, but we are all about careers here at Career Seekers Radio. So with that being said, your title at the Urban League is?
I am the Manager of Career Services.
Manager of Career Services. So I would imagine that with you leading the charge in that role, you probably see a lot of career seekers.
We do. We actually, last year, we saw approximately 600 job seekers in our last fiscal year.
Okay.
We assist job seekers with pretty much getting organized with their job search. So we're not a staffing agency or such, but we do assist folks with their resumes. We assist them with kind of getting clarification on exactly what they want to do.
If I was to come into the Urban League for career services, what happens once I say, you know what, I need a job or I need something? What kind of services what would happen from there?
So the first step in utilizing our services is coming to our orientation, which we host every Monday at 1 o'clock. That's our general intake session. Once folks have come in and participated in the orientation, they can expect to receive career coaching from myself or Kenneth. We like to sit down and speak with those individuals to identify exactly what they're looking to do. I often find that a lot of folks come in very chaotic in their thought processes. So what I do is I try to streamline and get clarification from them, ask them to give me at least 2 jobs that they would like to do and 3 companies that they would love to work for. Once we've identified that, we start the research process. Then we can pretty much go and work on their resume, their interviewing skills and actually do the advocating on their behalf with those companies.
You know what, that's really interesting that you say that. I don't know if you heard the earlier segment with myself and Tiffany, but you said they're kind of chaotic in their process. And Tiffany had a really valid point in speaking to how important it is to have organization in your search. So are there any tools that you can suggest that a career seeker should use to stay organized in their job search?
I am huge on writing things down.
Yes.
I am an
So would that be old school? Is that like old school?
I have a
Just write it
notebook
down.
sitting
Yes.
right here in front of me right now.
I love having a notebook,
Hold
you
on.
know?
Let me tell you a Tiffany Southerland story. Let me tell you a Tiffany Southerland story. So I'm speaking to Tiffany one day, and I said, you know, Tiff, I want to do this. You know how I bring all of this energy. I come to Tiffany. I'm like a ball of energy. Tiff, I want to do this, and she's so calm. And she pulls out this scheduling book. And I'm like, well, what are you doing? And she's like, I write everything in this book.
That's right.
And I have my phone out, I don't know what's going on, but Tiffany has never missed a call or an appointment or anything.
That's right.
So her book is working for her. So
Yeah,
there
and
you go.
I am a full supporter of the notebook. I often tell folks, and I actually go to like some of the department stores in the area and like buy up to 10 to 15 notebooks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I give them out to some of our job seekers when they come in. A phone, you can take notes on your phone, but sometimes your battery will die at the most inappropriate time. So the notebook never fails you.
So
You
so
know?
for all the people on the Broad Street line and on the L, that there's a lady handing out notebooks. It's Carla Baptiste. It's Carla.
You gotta first come to orientation.
And
So-
then you get a notebook.
Then you
There
get a
go.
notebook.
Mondays at 1 o'clock, right?
At 1 o'clock
There
at
you
the
go.
Urban League of Philadelphia.
So that's a great segue. So Mondays at 1, I come into orientation. What are some of the other things that'll take place after I participate in this orientation?
So we have workshops. We have workforce development workshops. Actually, Kenneth told me about a website called Dream It Alive.
Yes, I love that site.
So the month of February, every Thursday from 10 to noon, I am going to be hosting a session on assisting folks with creating their vision boards. And it's basically to assist folks with setting personal goals for the coming year. I know you guys were talking about New Year's resolutions and things like that.
Yes.
A lot of folks will come in and say, oh, I want a new job this year. I'm really gung-ho. And then by March, I don't see them again. So I think that by having this workshop throughout the month of February, that will give folks the commitment that's needed to actually see this thing through. And I always think that, if you see it, it'll happen.
Yes.
So again, going back to the notebook aspect, going back to this vision board that we're going to be creating, I think that folks are really going to be committed to the goals that they set and to accomplish those goals.
Okay, so I create a vision board. And that's great. I have this vision board, but I need resources. I need to fine-tune my skills. What are some of the things that you guys offer that'll assist me when I get a call from Tiffany Southerland saying, hey, we'd like to interview you? Tell me some things that I can kind of hang my hat on at the Urban League that'll help me with that.
Sure. We do have employers that come in and do mock interviews.
Okay.
So that assists folks greatly. We also have workshops that we do resume review. We have resume writing workshops. We also have a class that I'm also going to be having coming up soon is online application. A lot of folks really don't know how to effectively apply online for jobs. They get hung up with, cutting and pasting their resume or even uploading it.
Sure.
So we're going to tie in the digital literacy aspect into this particular class that we're going to host. So that's something that's really going to assist folks with, getting that application process a little streamlined. We also do a customer service training program called Connect to Work in the spring and in the fall. And that really helps a lot of folks kind of identify their customer service and hone in on that customer service skill.
Sure. That's a good name, Connect to Work. So
Connect to
you're
Work.
connecting people to work. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So you have the interview workshops and you have resume workshops and yourself. I know you do some career coaching there. Actually, you and Tiff might need to kind of share some pointers, some career coaching pointers.
Okay.
She's here. How does she do it? It's Tiffany Southerland. Yeah. So who's your population? Who do you assist? Do you assist entry-level candidates, mid-level candidates, senior-level candidates? Who comes to the Monday orientation looking for career assistance?
So, like I said, last year we saw about 600 people. I would have to say about 75 to 80% of those folks were entry level. We also have mid-level and a small percentage of folks that come in are senior executive level. But we do assist a lot of folks that are coming into the center either just starting out in their job or may have about maybe 3 to 5 years experience in a certain field.
Great. It's interesting. I was having a conversation with Tiffany prior to us going on air, and she was speaking about, we were speaking about the Urban League, and she said, Ken, who's eligible for these programs that they have? What are the eligibility requirements? Like, who can come in and take advantage?
So anyone really. We work with a lot of companies in the area, and most of these companies are looking for folks that have at least a high school or GED, high school diploma or GED, some sort of work experience in that particular field. Like I said, most employers are looking for at least 3 to 5 years experience or a degree in a specific field. So we really assist everyone. I really can't say we have a preference, so to speak. What we are here to do is to assist employers in the city of Philadelphia and in the region with diversifying their workforce. So we do assist a lot of minorities that are here in the Philadelphia area and just assisting them with really sharpening their skill sets.
You mentioned having that employers want to see someone with experience or a degree kind of related to the field that they're going in. Have you ever encountered someone who is like, yes, I know I have this experience, but I really want to go in this direction? What are some of does your advice or does the programming apply any differently to those people who are like, I know I could get this kind of job, but I really want this different kind of job?
We get that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And my advice on folks, I really don't like leading people down this unrealistic path. I really encourage folks to be realistic with what they're looking to do. If someone is really gung-ho about becoming an engineer, I'll give them information on going back to school and really getting that experience, or even volunteering and learning about a particular organization and then seeing what they have available. But I really try to be very realistic with the folks that we work with and, giving them the opportunity to seek or to find employment that is applicable to where they're at that particular moment. And if they're looking to do something that's a little more, then these are the tools that you need to enhance those skills and to get that job maybe in another year.
You know what? That's great. I want all our listeners to hold tight. We're going to go to break, but after break, we're going to come back and discuss the Global Citizen Martin Luther King Day Career Fair. We're going to have Tiffany chime in on what career seekers that are attending the career fair need to do in preparation for that event. It's the Career Seekers Radio Show, live on WPPM FM 106.5. Carla Baptiste, Tiffany Southerland, Global Citizen, MLK Day Career Fair coming up soon. Stay locked. We ain't been bombarding you with questions, but you're built for it. You're built for it. So we'll come back. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't have any career fair questions necessarily, and we're at 47 now, so we probably got about 11 minutes, give or take. So, Tiff, I'm sure you'll have questions about it, but I want Carla to speak about the career fair, who's going to be there, what's going on, if there's any presentations, anything like that. And I'm going to have you speak to what people need to, how they need to approach it.
All right.
Resumes, elevator pitch, dress, whatever you want to speak on, and then you'll speak on that. So Carla, you fill us in on what the event is all about. You fill us in on what the career seekers need to do. All right? Everybody good? Davies, Harlem. I love this song. Loved it. How's it going, Gates? What's that?
Oh man, it's great, man. We're doing good.
Right, love it. How's it going, Sheriff?
Have to put it for you.
All right, we're going to come back in like 20 seconds. You good? Everybody good?
Yeah.
All right. Career Seeker Show live on WPPM FM 106.5 Philadelphia. We're back. Tiffany Southerland, Carla Baptiste, and myself, Kenneth L. Johnson. Now, when we left before the break, we told you we were going to speak about the Global Citizen MLK Day Career Fair. I've been to 2 of these career fairs at Girard College in North Philadelphia. North Philly, what's up? I just want to speak about it, Carla, from your perspective. Tell us everything that's going on Monday, January 16th.
So the Urban League have partnered with Global Citizen to present the job fair aspect of this particular event. This event is historic. There will be about 150 volunteer projects. There will be workshops, trainings, job fair. There will be a civic engagement expo, health and wellness fair, along with thousands of volunteers. This event is huge, and it just increases as far as the attendees on a yearly basis.
Wow, that's excellent. When is the event again?
It's going to be Monday, January 16th, 2017 at Girard College. We'll start everything up in and around the 9 o'clock hour, and we'll be there until about 1.
Interesting. Now, so for the listeners, when you speak about Girard College, so let's just say myself, or let's say our cameraman Will, actually myself and Will, we will be in the building at Girard College at the MLK Day Career Fair, speaking to career seekers, speaking to employers. There's this big wall at Girard College, and I know there's a gate. Like, how do people get into the actual facility? How do people get on campus?
Trust me, you will not miss it. It's
Nice.
the main entrance. It will be open. Normally that entrance is locked.
Yes.
But it will be wide open. Everyone will be welcome in, and there will be additional parking in and around, I believe, at St. Joe's Prep.
Okay.
And there will be a shuttle bringing folks up to the college also. The 15 trolley stops right there. Good old SEPTA, you can take it to the event. But it's not something that you will miss. It is something that's exciting. It's attended by thousands of folks. And it's a good time.
Do people need to register in advance in order to participate?
Yes. Folks should definitely register. They can go on to mlkdayofservice.org, and the prompts should be on that site to tell you how to register for the actual job fair. Or they can go on to any of the Clear Channel radio stations and register also.
And will we be able to link to that on the careerseekers.org website?
I think we should. Careerseekers.org. We will have links up for the MLK Day Career Fair. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. So Carla, so I'm coming to the career fair. I just got my suit out of the dry cleaners. Who should I expect to see when I get there?
You can expect to see SEPTA, PRWT, Lowe's, Home Depot.
Wow.
We're going to have a lot of really fantastic. Piedmont Airlines is
Okay.
going to be there. So there are a lot of great employers who will be there. We'll be there talking about all of our services, and handing out information. So there are going to be about 25 employers that we have registered.
When I went in the past, one of the things that I thought was really interesting about that particular career fair was that they also had presenters and speakers in a side room, an auditorium, if you may. And I just thought that was incredible. Not only could you go and meet with employers and network with other career seekers and hiring influencers, but you could receive some professional development as well. I thought that was a great add-on.
Yep, and we will be having that also on that day. I think Mike Robinson's going to be there from Temple University, and of course he gives his dynamic speeches. So.
I have some information to share about Mike later on in the program when we close out. So Tiffany, how do they do it? How do they do it? If you're a career seeker and you're getting ready to go to the career fair and you want to put your best foot forward, it's your New Year's resolution states that you're going to go to the career fair and get a job opportunity. What do they need to do?
Well, the first thing that you want to make sure you do is you prepare as though you're going to have an interview that day. Because one of the things that happens at job fairs is sometimes employers are conducting short interviews right on the spot. So if that means dressing in your suit, in your blazer, in your shirt and pants, your skirt, whatever it is that you in order to kind of dress your best, And also you want to have copies of your resume. So Carla mentioned that there will be up to 25 employers at the fair. Maybe you're not applying to all 25 of these employers, but you probably want to have at least 10 or so copies of your resume. And so that means taking a step back, that your resume is now updated.
Yes.
So don't walk into a career fair if you haven't looked at your resume since September of last year, and we're now talking about 2017. If there are things that you need to add onto that resume, if you need to have it checked out by somebody, if you think that there are things that you can do, Carla has already mentioned some resources that the Urban League can offer. Maybe between now and then, there are lots of resources available to kind of help you get your resume updated very quickly. And then you want to practice before you get there. So if you go to the MLK Day of Service website, get yourself to see what the employers are going to be, you register, get an idea of what positions are available so that you're not going in there preparing to apply for a job that you have no idea, you've never seen it before. And my guess is that these employers will have, there's probably a way for us to access and find out what those positions are so that you can position yourself to say, well, I'm going to talk to Lowe's. I know that I want to go work in the garden department at Lowe's, and so I'm going to speak specifically to that, and you know that that opportunity is available. So just dress your best, make sure you have several copies of your updated resume, and prepare as though you are going to have a job interview that day with the employers. I think is the best.
I forgot to tell you guys that we will be having a job fair prep workshop tomorrow at the Urban League from 10 to 12. Just giving people advice on how to get ready for the job fair on Monday.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
The job fair prep workshop, I like it. That's
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yep.
So there's no excuse for not being ready for this job fair.
Exactly.
It's going to be a great event. So Tiffany, we have a couple minutes here. I want to touch on something that typically happens at job fairs. So I see people, they get frustrated. I want you to share with me how people should handle this situation. You come to the job fair and you're really excited to meet with XYZ employer. And you go and you meet with them, you're dressed, your resume's updated, and they tell you, we're not accepting resumes today.
So what do you do in that instance?
What do you do? Because when I speak to people and they get so frustrated, and I tell them it's nothing personal,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess I'm calling on your legal expertise because I would imagine there's a reason why some companies won't just accept the resume.
Well, you want to ask, well, if you can't accept the resume today, is there a different application process? And so what you want to do is find out, just because they can't take your paper resume today, maybe it's just because they have a formal process that they want to go through. And so what you want to do is don't miss an opportunity. So just because you can't get that job application or interview on the spot, you've now met someone who has some sort of insight into the organization. So ask questions, ask if you can get their contact information so you can follow up with them later, so that you're getting an additional offering or an additional kind of relationship out of that interaction, even though you might not have been able to submit your application in that moment.
Excellent.
I actually tell folks to create a business card. In the years that I've been doing job fairs, I found that a lot of employers are not taking paper resumes anymore. What they will take is a business card. So when you give one, you get one. So now you have a contact with that particular employer. And you're able to email them or send your resume via electronically to that employer. So that's one of the things that we do cover when we do these job fair prep workshops.
Sure. That makes complete sense. The business card tip is a great tip.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the thing that I would like to share with people and leaving, if you're going to the career fair, if you're thinking of going to the career fair, the biggest step in the process is to go.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people plan on going, and granted, you had a great weekend, and Monday comes around, and you just decide that you don't want to get out of bed and go. And I think that's a mistake that a lot of people make. You never know where that next opportunity is.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things that when you think about people who have been successful or people who have gotten, and not even necessarily successful in this big sense, but they've done something that they sought to do, it's because they were the person who actually took the action that it required to do that thing.
Yeah.
And so it's the only difference between somebody who does something and who doesn't is the fact that they did it. They took the action. So if you want to go to the career fair, wake up early on Monday morning.
So Ms. Baptiste, how do our listeners get in contact with you?
So they can contact the Career Services Department at careercenter@urbanleaguephila.org.
Great, great. All right, Career Seeker listeners, it's another show. We're really happy you came out and just took the time to listen to us today. So it's our inaugural edition, live here on WPPM Philadelphia. To our listeners today, I'd like to say thank you. Our special guest, Carla Baptiste of the Urban League of Philadelphia, thank you. The Career Seeker team, Tiffany, Southerland, Alberta Bertolino, Will Martin, thank you. And to those who said we could or couldn't make this happen, thank you as well. We'll be back next week with Mike Robinson, Temple University Outreach and Hiring Manager. North Philly, we got you. We're there Monday. Mike is here Wednesday. It's the Career Seeker Radio Show live on WPPM. Yogi, is it a wrap?
It's a wrap, Gold.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Congrats. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
That was great.
Excellent.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to get so much better.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's only, I mean, it takes.